to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. In launching a startup, the watchword is minimum. Minimum fundraise, minimum team, minimum viable product. The CTO is a key component of the startup team. Start with a fractional CTO rather than a full-time hire. Here's what a fractional CTO does. They advise on the project rather than command direct reports. They review the engineering designs for strengths and weaknesses. They set the architecture of the product, and they design the technical roadmap. They choose the tech stack, and they advise on the tools to use. They provide training to the early stage developers, and they review the overall project plans, and they develop the budget for the project and the teams. The fractional CTO can work remotely. At the early stage, the startup works on the minimum viable product. This doesn't require a full-time CTO, but rather someone who is familiar with the application. Consider a fractional CTO for your early stage product. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start listening to today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.